Hello everyone and welcome to another gear review. Today we are talking about the Feiyu Vimble 2S stabilizer. This is another cell phone stabilizer. I thought it would be a good comparison considering my last review was about the Ouchuan Smart S1 cell phone stabilizer. By the way, this is not a paid advertisement. A good friend of mine has this stabilizer, so I borrowed it for the video. And also, do you guys use stabilizers? I went out shooting hyperlapses with my stabilizer the other day and had a great time. If you use the stabilizer, let me know which one you use in the comments down below. So, let's get started. This stabilizer comes in its own case, which is pretty standard for most of this kind of stabilizer. It's a nice case, I really like it. It's foam, and I appreciate the design that the surface is not just flat, but that there's these angles here. It gives it a very high-tech feel. There's a handle on the case, and the case also zips, which is also a plus because you can carry the case by the handle, as well as you don't have to worry about the gimbal falling out given the zippers. Inside of the case, there are straps that hold the gimbal in place, as well as a small spot for the tripod. A small note on the tripod, as I said in my previous video, I prefer larger tripods, and this one is pretty small, which is hard for me for two reasons. One, I can't use the tripod as a handle extension, and two, it doesn't make me feel safe when the tripod is so small that I feel like my stabilizer is going to fall over and break either the stabilizer or the phone attached to it. The case also has a mesh pocket that you can store different things in, like the USB cable that you would connect your phone to the stabilizer with, or maybe the plug that you would use to charge your stabilizer. Now, it seems to be pretty standard with these stabilizers. If it's in portrait mode, you can plug your phone into the stabilizer and have the stabilizer charge your phone while you're shooting video, which is really good. I just wish that there was a way to do this outside of portrait mode. I guess you could kind of put your phone in there upside down, but then you run the risk of your camera catching the stabilizer in the shot. The gimbal itself has a simple interface which is easy to use. There's a record/shutter button, the power/stabilization mode button, and the joystick for panning and tilting shots. On the left side, there is a USB port, and on the right side, there is a zoom toggle to zoom your video or photos in or out. What makes this gimbal different is the addition of extension technology that turns this gimbal into a selfie stick. The gimbal can extend an extra 18 centimeters. Someone leave the inches conversion down below, please. That allows you to turn this gimbal for taking specialized selfies, or it gives you the ability to turn this into a short monopod that works well if you put it on a stable surface like a table or a bench. The app is easy to use and it connects to the gimbal through the Bluetooth. It has several different picture modes, such as long exposure or panorama modes, and it can stitch all of those pictures together, giving you a final panorama in your phone. Of course, the video modes follow what your standard cell phone video can take, like 1080p 30 frames per second or slow motion at 120 FPS at 720p. Of course, those are the settings when I plug my phone in. I'm sure if I had a better phone that could do higher resolution slow motion video, that the app would support it. There's also object tracking and face tracking that works really well. The gimbal will follow you, making sure that your face stays in a frame. It's awesome for vlogging, things like that. If you just want to set the gimbal up somewhere with your cell phone on it and not worry about whether or not you're in or out of the shot. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The gimbal is small and lightweight and provides stable video, which is awesome. Its extension function is quite unique and can be useful in situations where you're taking selfies or videos with yourself in the picture. The stabilization seems to be smooth, and it has all of these standard stabilizing modes, locking different axes to make sure that you get the best shot. One small complaint was that if the weighting of my phone with the stabilizer wasn't set up correctly, the gimbal would tremble. I haven't ever had a gimbal do that to me before. Most gimbals, when the weighting is not correct, will just tend to drift one way or the other. So that was a little disconcerting to me because if I was doing some run and gun shooting and my settings got knocked, I could lose whole shots or miss my shot because I'm spending time putting the gimbal back together. I couldn't tell if it was the Bluetooth or the app was a little bit laggy when I was panning around and kind of moving the gimbal around. It seemed like the video updating or the screen updating was a little bit slow. That's a little nitpicky thing. I don't think that would really mess anybody up. I think this product is great for personal use. I don't think that I would use it on any professional shoots. unless there wasn't another option available. So anyway, this has been a little product review about the Feiyu Vimble 2S Stabilizer. Guys, let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has been helpful for you. Go ahead and smash like, and I will see you next time.